It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, Southern Missouri.
Whoop,
it is
whoop.
Thursday, January 2nd, 2020.
It is.
And here we go.
First show into the new year.
First show in the new year. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Down on the Corner program. Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a good holiday season, January 1st, and that's January 2nd, 2020.
I'm just ready to get a routine back to going.
I'm ready.
I'm a routine person.
Yep.
And
Yeah, we've had a lot of pre-recordings between, yesterday back all the way to Christmas Eve. Appreciate, letting us have a little vacation. It was really fun. I enjoyed the time off. I really did, and came back in with Jack Fortner and Bob Zador for the 31st to do that live show, and then took the day off yesterday, and I hope everybody had a good holiday season. I put on Facebook, we've been in holiday mode since about the 27th of November. That was the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And so, you get ready for Thanksgiving, you got Thanksgiving, and then boom, it's Black Friday, you got 29th and 30th, and then the 1st, and then bang, 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 it's all Christmas, So we've kind of been in holiday mode here for over a month, and so now it's back to normal.
And I know this week's a little messed up, but hopefully next week we can get back into a regular routine.
Get back into the regular routine, yeah.
Routine's down pat, and I'll be all right.
Yep.
I'm a routine kind of guy.
I am too. Well, good morning, everybody. Once again, welcome Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with Scooter Callis, and hope you had a wonderful New Year celebration, wonderful Christmas, Thanksgiving, the holiday season, and now it's on to newer things. I'm kind of disappointed. It's 2020 and there's no Jetson cars. Remember, meet George Jetson? He's flying around his little car.
Yeah. It was kind of sad. We did the show on the 31st, and I was driving by, and there's one of the city vehicles pulling into the gas station with the Christmas things that they're taking off. I'm like, You're taking them off already? I was like, it's the 31st. You at least wait till after the first of the year before you start taking it down.
The efficiency, they're getting it
efficiency in my butt. It's still the season through the first.
Now it's over.
Yeah,
it's officially over.
Now you can go take them down.
There's no holiday season now. It's January 2.
Well, everybody's still celebrating the new year, though.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Down on the Corner is brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town with 3 locations to serve you. We have, of course, Balmer Boulevard. And, of course, school's still not in session. I think they start back up on Monday. Balmer Boulevard, then we have 62 East Plaza, and then we have Baxter Regional. And they may still be out in the little trailer out by the cafeteria. They're doing some major remodeling. It's going to be very nice, a nice, beautiful lobby in store for those that enter Baxter Regional. And soon they'll have a nice coffee bar, and they'll improve how they serve the coffee there at Baxter Regional. And so Mike and the staff do a great job at all 3 locations, the best coffee in town. They've got the mochas, the lattes, and they've got the seasonal blends, whatever you want. And they've got just good old regular black coffee. And so check out Brood Awakening Coffee. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and his staff, like I say, do a great job. The best coffee in town is Brood Awakening. And, of course, Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. Bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes right here in Mountain Home. Talk to Charlotte, Brad, Bruce, Chris. They're all ready to help you. Emergency situation or planning ahead for something that may transpire after the illness of a loved one, whatever it may be. Roller Funeral Homes, 29 in the state of Arkansas to serve you, with 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect. And when they say that, they mean that. And it's like Scooter says, if you want to know about Roller Funeral Home, just talk to one of the people out there.
Yep.
That's just how they are. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, here we are now in 2020. Lord, I pray this year will be a success for everyone, and may our economy continue to prosper. Lord, while we look forward to new things in 2020 and beyond, I realize some things don't change. Lord, we still have a political party that cares more for illegal people in our country than the homeless, hungry veterans that defended it. We have a political party that worries over which bathroom a confused person should use. We have a political party that celebrates abortion and brags about being the party of abortion. Lord, for 2020, I pray you correct the way we think. Wrong is wrong, and it's never right. Lord, I pray in 2020 you bring our country back to God, and that's my prayer today. Amen. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
And now, dun dun dun.
Listen to you, would ya?
Nah, it's still messed up. My trumpet's still not a trumpet yet.
Did any of those celebration beverages help that?
No, I actually didn't really do much.
Morning,
we
Jeff.
just hung out the house, and
Yeah.
I was in bed like 2 hours before, just watching
did too,
TV,
yeah.
waiting
I mean,
for it
it's
to
just-
come.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just wasn't a big party
Some
day.
folks like to have a nice celebration. You know, I played
Back in the day,
back in the day. I turned on one of my antique phonographs, listened to a few songs, and then about 10 o'clock. I think there were some kids out there, some fireworks, had some fun, listened to that, in the neighborhood. That's great, Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. Retire to Arkansas.net and take a peek at the White River.
cloudy or clear.
I'm going to say it may be foggy because we have some humidity and there's some rain on the...
You're wrong again. It's
Wow,
clear.
I'm glad I'm wrong. Isn't that pretty?
It's a nice
That's
shot
a
with the
nice
lights
shot.
on, and
The city of downtown Cotter, Arkansas. The cameras in Marion County, and you're actually seeing the White River looking into the city of Cotter, one of our wonderful little towns. Love going down to Cotter. We had Christmas in the park
yeah.
for Cotter. I talked to somebody who said there's over 400 people showed up for that. It was a nice celebration. The
really
mayor
cool.
challenged people to do some decorating, and it was just a lot of fun. A nice little town right there. The 62, dadgum, cough, excuse me. 62-412 bridge on the left side of the screen is still lit, and of course, city of Cotter. The clearing right there is a little baseball park, the Railroad Museum down there at Big Spring Park in Cotter along the White River. And you can go to retiretoarkansas.net, look at live webcam, and you can see this on your own device, phone, or computer. The live shot brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793, retiretoarkansas.net. And we appreciate their sponsoring the weather each and every day. And right now we're showing 47 degrees in Mountain Home. It's 48 at Flippin, 48 in Harrison, 48 at Yellow. Wow. Salem at 46, Calico Rock at 47. Mountain View checks in at 48 like everybody else does. It's 40 in St. Louis, 47 in Poplar Bluff, 46 at West Plains, 41 in Branson. And it's only 32 degrees in Watford City, North Dakota. And I have to refresh this map again and reset it after I did it before. We do have some rain in the areas around here. First, we'll take a look at the regional radar here for the United States. Shower activity from New Mexico, Texas, a little bit in Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi,
Put
Alabama.
that in motion, would you?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
We have a little bit in northeast Wisconsin. Of course, most of that is going to be snow and some ice. Some other precip coming into the western edge of Oregon and Washington like it normally does. A little bit in Montana, South Dakota, not a lot going on. The most, like you see in the radar, most of it's right here in the southeast part of the country. We'll zoom into Arkansas. Shower activity in northeast Arkansas from Jonesboro to the state line along Highway 67. We have southern Arkansas and eastern Arkansas along I-55 there at Memphis and down around Pine Bluff, affecting Highway 167 in the southern part of the state as well. Northwest Arkansas, nothing going on right now. So overall, Interstate 40 west of Little Rock, Interstate 49, 62, 412 west, not affected. Highway 65, Little Rock to Branson, not affected. There's going to be a little bit still lingering on Highway 67 once you get near the state line around Pocahontas and Corning, Arkansas. Not too much on 167 out of Little Rock. Other than that, Blytheville, Arkansas, getting some shower activity as well. Most of that going over into Tennessee. We'll look at the highway situation here in just a minute. Not much going on in Missouri. Most of it's in extreme southeast Missouri. It's affecting probably Donovan, Neelyville, Naylor, places like that along Highway 67, 160, and Highway 142. And so your interstates in Missouri, 70 going in from KC to St. Louis, I-44, Joplin, Springfield, Lebanon, Raleigh, and into St. Louis. I-55 is only affected down around the Blytheville, Arkansas area and just a little bit north once you cross into the Boot Hill of Missouri. East St. Louis, Illinois, east on I-64 in good shape. Interstate 57 around Champaign, Urbana looking good right there. And the I-24-57 junction in pretty good shape in southern Illinois. National Weather Service watches and warnings. We do have some flood advisories for portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, and northwest Georgia right now, and a little bit in North Carolina. Other than that, nothing for Arkansas or Missouri at this time. Forecast is looking like this. Today we have a 40% chance of rain with a high of 57 degrees. Not going to be too bad of a day than tonight. 50% chance of showers and rain. A low of 44. Tomorrow, high of 48 with a 50% chance of showers. It continues from tonight and tomorrow morning. And then a low of 31 on Friday night with a 30% chance of showers, and it warms back up to 44 with bright sunshiny skies on Saturday, 56 on Sunday, and 50 on Monday with mostly sunny skies right now, or at that time. Checking iDrive Arkansas, and I put the radar on so you could actually see exactly which highways are affected by the showers. Little Rock East is basically where it's at right now, and so nothing going on in the state of Arkansas other than some light to moderate showers from Memphis all the way down to the southeast corner of the state. And so, Missouri did have some, they had a flood box open. And I'll pull that up. There's two of them. One just north of us, northwest of West Plains. Route Double E closed northbound and southbound due to flooding, and this is in south central Missouri. This is along Highway 60, south of Highway 60 around Kabul. We have another flooding device here. Route V is closed southbound and northbound due to flooding. These are county roads in the southern part of Missouri that can be affected. One over here in southwest Missouri as well. Oh, there you have it. The highway map and everything else. What do you think?
I try not to. It hurts.
Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda's Adore for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. retiredtoarkansas.net. Community calendar-wise, well, your computer's slow to load today. Had everything ready to go. Wait.
Moving slow.
There we go. Gassville Volunteer Fire Department Auxiliary meeting today at 7. And they will be meeting, they're seeking new members, coming out to meet some of the nice folks, support your local young men and women, volunteer firefighters. And they're going to be meeting at the fire station at 206 School Street in Gassville at 7 o'clock. There will be a beginner's fly tying class on January 6th. It looks like for the month of January, North Arkansas Fly Fishers are hosting beginner's fly tying class. And it's a great idea for, it says, I'm just going to read how it is. Christmas gift for somebody just getting started in the sport. The class is limited to 10 students and meets 4 weeks, Mondays in January, the 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Ozark Regional Arts Council Conference Room on the second floor of the shed. $25 fee for that activity. Scooter, you got anything?
The Mountain Home High School wrestling team, Bombers, got their big tournament this weekend, starting tomorrow.
Wow.
Be Friday and Saturday night. Friday night will be a duels meet, so it'll be team versus team. And then Saturday, they'll be running individual varsity, JV, and girls. So it'll be a big tournament. We encourage everybody to come out. It's right here at the high school at the hangar. Mm-hmm. And tomorrow night starts at 5 o'clock tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, it'll start at 10 in the morning, pretty much run most of the day. Wow. So it'll be a big tournament. They got a lot of cool stuff, even if you've never been to one. They got a lot of giveaways.
Really?
Yeah, you can buy chances to win a TV. And then this year you can actually buy your chance to win a car. It's a Mustang convertible.
What year?
So I do not know exactly the year. I think it's a 2009 or something like that. But it's a nice car.
That'd be
All
nice.
leather interior.
Well, yeah.
It's a nice car.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
need to go by and get yourself a ticket and watch a couple matches and support the Bombers.
Sounds good.
It'd be a good time.
All right. It's time for a quick break. Sheriff John Montgomery is our guest today, so stick around. Right after the break, we visit with our sheriff. So we will be right back. Your car is a member of the family. It takes you where you need to go, and it makes sure you are safe at all times. When a wreck or accident happens, trust the only place that will treat you and your vehicle like a person, not a number. From collision repair and windshield replacement to paintless dent repair and hail damage removal, Dent Boys can cover all your automotive repair needs and make sure you are satisfied every step of the way. Call or visit the professionals at Dent Boys today and see the Dent Boys difference.
I've had back problems since about 98, and all the doctors want to do is put me on medicine. And I started coming here, and he started adjusting me. I can get up and walk a lot better. I don't have near as much pain. And the laser treatment he did on my neck and back, it helped my pain in my neck probably 75–80%. I'd recommend that for anybody that's got any kind of pain. It does wonders.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Hi, we're Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, and we'd like you to meet the rest of our team.
When you are working with the Z team, you will find that not only are they down-to-earth people, but they are trained professionals who work with downsizers, first-time homebuyers, and clients who may want to relocate to our beautiful Ozarks. Our team has agents who specialize in lake and river properties, listing and selling raw land, acreage, and all residential homes. Listing your property with the Z team will help get it sold with unmatched Century 21 global marketing. You can find out more at retiretoarkansas.net.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right product. Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
$7:18 and our Sheriff John Montgomery's here. Happy New Year, sir.
Giving us the countdown.
How you been? Good to see you.
Been great. Oh,
Yep.
hang on. Excuse me, just for a second.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah,
There,
we
you
forgot.
gotta get there, you go.
Can't forget the cup.
Okay. That's for one of my deputies, Jacob Zappa. We call him Smiley because he always has a smile on his face. So, and he actually gave me some Smiley stickers, which I didn't get by the office, or I would have worn one for him today. But
things must be good then if you all are smiling.
Yep,
That's
we're
good.
smiling.
Did we behave ourselves on New Year's Eve?
We actually did. We had one DWI arrest. We had one about noon, but I don't know that you can whether you count that or not. But and then we had another one in the middle of the night, and I can't even remember. It seemed like he was in his 50s. So officers reported a fairly quiet night.
And it's funny, Sheriff, I went to town yesterday about 2 o'clock, and the town was just quiet. I went past your office, turned right.
You didn't use the quiet word, did you?
Uh-huh.
That's a no-no.
Really?
And law enforcement never used the Q word.
Oh,
ever.
really?
Ever.
Uh-oh. Am I in trouble?
Because that's usually when all heck breaks loose.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Now you jinxed it, and so much for the nice New Year. No.
Yeah, you never use the Q word. Ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'll make a note of that one. There was no activity yesterday in Mountain Home. I went by the square, by his restaurant, went up through past O'Reilly's Automotive, all that stuff, and AutoZone. It was really no activity, not many people out stirring yesterday. Kind of weird. You ever notice that?
I wasn't in town. Didn't notice.
Really?
Wow. Nope.
Well, I've got to ask you on a
Okay,
more serious
here
note.
we go.
Here we come.
Here we go.
Here we go. Another church shooting. Now, there was a trained professional. I think they said he was a veteran. I don't know if he was law enforcement. Your take on that?
Well, the problem is there's always going to be evil. You're going to have, whether it's church shootings or school shootings or wherever, that's going to happen. I mean, and I'm sorry, you all the prevention that you can do is important, but you're still going to have evil in the world. And so I've said the best way to take out a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
And I think they did it correctly.
There were, as I understand it, and certainly don't have all the answers, but there were several in that church that had weapons. It's just that the particular man that was able to take action quickly, I've heard like 6 or 7 seconds. Yes, he had some training, and it's my understanding he was retired law enforcement.
Was he? Okay.
And so, again, it's a tragedy. It's awful. But if he hadn't have been there and hadn't taken the action he took, it could have certainly been a whole lot worse.
The news reports are saying that the criminal, the one that instigated the shooting, had some felony charges against him and shouldn't even have had the weapon.
Well, that's the age-old argument that you're going to have is, bad guys are always going to be able to get their hands on guns. And you can say whatever you want, but, it can happen. Now, certainly, and I will, probably step out a little bit. I am not for just wide open, anybody who wants a gun, have a gun. We do need to take and use some common sense.
Sure.
And I'm on that same topic, and I'm not going to dive into the prison release parolee too heavy, but I will tell you, back in the day, if you're a convicted felony, you're not allowed to possess a firearm. Okay, we're not talking about purchase; we're talking about possess. Back in the day, if a felon got caught with a firearm, it was a serious consequence, serious prison time. I can tell you from our experience, you talk to the parole officers who make these home visits, it is becoming a common occurrence. And it's just not that often they even go to prison, much less for a serious period of time. And again, it's because it costs too much to lock them up. So going back again to your issue, your felon had a firearm, they're going to always be able to get their hands on one. I mean, it can happen.
No matter what law we pass.
No. Well,
the only laws you're passing is to the law-abiding citizens.
Exactly.
It's not to the criminals.
Why do you think they call them criminals?
Yeah.
Because they
already broke the law.
They don't obey the law. So it's kind of like I posted a cartoon and got, probably 98% positive feedback and about 2% negative. And here's two robbers that are standing at the door of a bank. And it said, no guns allowed. And one of them looks at the other and said, now what are we going to do? Okay? I mean, that's a joke. I mean,
it is.
Because it's like the gun-free zones, which now, I'm going to segue briefly and say, no, I think there's some common sense needs to be. We don't need to let guns into what I would call emotionally enraged places. So certainly I don't want guns walking into the sheriff's office or certainly in the jail and some things like that, or in the courtrooms or things like that. And there's precautions we take. But if it's like movie theaters, you have a sign that says no guns allowed. Well, who obeys that sign? The law-abiding citizens are not going to take a gun in there, okay? But if you're a criminal, you don't care what that sign says. So those drive me nuts. I'm just telling you. So now looking back.
Okay, should a church, for instance, put a sign on the door? Various members are armed and trained.
Well, and I will say this: we have done quite a bit of training for some church officials, and I have always said, every church is different. The congregation of every church is different, and so they need to decide what's best for them. I mean that because if the church doesn't they feel strongly that they don't want guns in that church, then who am I to sit there and tell them that you need to let them in there? I mean, that's up to that particular church. Right. Now, it goes back again to, and I had a little email exchange with someone that was talking about how great it was that they could carry openly, and I'm going to give you my opinion.
You're a target.
Well, you carry openly for show, you carry concealed for protection. Now, that's my opinion, and not everybody agrees with me, but I'm glad. And I've been in law enforcement now more than 30 years, and I can tell you, I feel strongly about concealed carry, and I think it's great. And if you want to protect yourself and your your family, so be it. What bothers me on the news media is they, of course, always highlight the tragedies, but what you didn't hear was several cases where a convenience store was getting robbed, or someone was shooting, and a good guy, just everyday John citizen, had a weapon that was able to protect themselves and others and took care of the situation. You rarely see that on the news, and of course I think.
Well, the news media, they want to criminalize the gun. They don't want to criminalize.
Well, I wished when I was in school I could have blamed my pencil.
Yeah.
For my grades.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or my keyboard for not spelling right here when I'm trying to type something.
And I will say, I mean, again, there's bad guys will always be able to get a gun. There's always going to be evil. But just what just happened in New York? Do we now ban machetes?
Talking about the Jewish synagogue there?
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
I'll say, go ahead with your serious question now.
Well, I mean, the governor was here, and I asked him a question concerning has anybody done a psychological study on why somebody would want to walk into a church or a synagogue, in the Jewish neighborhood there? Why? Why would you want to take a machete into a bunch of worshipers in a Jewish synagogue? They're doing their thing. Let them do it. I have no problem. Somebody asked me about, what do you think about Hanukkah? Cool. I have no problem with it. Am I going to attack somebody of the Jewish faith because it just, what? No.
Well, again, you're talking about evil, and so
I don't get it. I mean, what's in the criminal mind?
Well, I don't even, and I know this sounds awful, I don't even worry about what's in the criminal mind, because one, that's not my expertise, and again,
why did Lee Harvey Oswald take a shot at 3 shots at John Kennedy?
Why did Adam and Eve eat the apple?
Why did Adam and Eve eat the apple? Why did John Hinckley take a shot at Reagan, or Mark David Chapman shot John Lennon 5 times? Why?
When you get that answer, Dale, you let us know.
I've had a .357 Magnum, a .44 Magnum. I've got a couple of .22 rifles and a .22 handgun, and they've never heard anything other than a couple Clorox bottles and a couple of tin cans when we went out target shooting years ago. My gun has never just crawled up out of the cabinet or the gun safe or wherever it may be and walked out and hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it sounds stupid, but literally. I don't get it. I don't get it. Walk into I think it was the Church of Christ, and they were having their communion, and one of the gentlemen that was killed was serving communion to the parishioners there. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. Dead silence.
I don't know how to answer that question. I mean, you can't
how'd
answer.
You like to be in the sheriff's shoes, though? I mean,
But you're never going to answer the reason why. I mean, like Sheriff says, who cares why? You're never going to know why. They're just not.
Yeah.
There's evil out there. There's evil.
Well, with that, it's almost 7:30, so let's take that break.
What about are we going to get to see the Z-Team weather cam one more time? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I have a personal interest in that because
you can probably see your house.
You can see roughly where my house is. There are trees there that you can't. But yeah, it's beautiful. I'm telling you.
Ever so often, I'll come into Cotter on a Sunday night, and I'll drive past your house and get up there. Oh, John, what a view! Gorgeous view from your front porch. Wow.
Very blessed.
Very blessed. Wow. Now we want to take that break?
Be right back.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
End of the year clearance on all G3 boats and Yamaha motors at Henderson Marine. Come check out the low prices on 2019 model G3 fishing boats and G3 Suncatcher pontoons. Henderson Marine offers in-house financing and is your local authorized Yamaha service center. Need parts, accessories, water toys? They got them too. Need to winterize? Call Henderson Marine today to schedule your winterization. When maintenance matters, call Henderson Marine at 870-488-5600.
Come see us today at Henderson Marine.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands, including Carhartt, Vera Bradley, Urbane, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Skechers, Nursemates, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractables, compression socks, paramedic VDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, and minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop. Whether
7:33. Now another important question. How's cornbread? Is that the kid?
Cornbread is not doing so well.
What happened?
Cornbread actually lost her eyesight, and so we had to make a decision. But after talking with the vet, they feel like it was high blood pressure that actually caused it.
Really?
Found out that is somewhat common in cats, and so we made the decision after talking with the vet extensively to go ahead and treat her for high blood pressure, and she has adapted and walks up and down the hallways, and there's a couple of cat doors, and she does her, in and out, and
is she permanently blind?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They thought there was a chance at first she might, but no, and so she's still cornbread. It's just that she occasionally bumps into the wall and things like that, but she has learned to adapt, and
wow, that's
she
sad.
still wanders the office, and so. And we've actually had a couple of people kind of step up and make a donation to help pay for her medication and stuff like that.
Good.
Because we don't use tax dollars. We've all in the past chipped in and among all of us.
Sure.
So it's been nice to a couple of people have stepped up and helped with cornbread.
Well, I'm glad she's still with us. I hate that she's lost her eyesight. The quarter sales tax, is it helping? How are we doing?
We are in good shape. Sales tax revenues were up for the year of 2019, and so our quarter cent brought in more than was projected. The big thing, when you go back way back when you're sitting there trying to put all this together to get the tax passed and so on and so forth, our projections was that $0.25 would run the jail. Well, now that it's come to fruition and budgets have passed and there's enough revenue to...
Good.
Now, there's not much left over, but it's running the jail. And so we
So
think
it's doing
that's
what it was intended to do.
doing exactly what it was intended to do. And while we're on that subject, you're looking... if you can throw the webcam up?
Yeah. Oh, your cam. Sorry. You were talking about the other thing. I didn't know if it had something to do with your place.
I figure Bob and Linda are watching. So you're welcome, Bob and Linda. That webcam will probably come down next week because now that we've got that part done, and we're going to put a little what they call the construction video, whatever it'll be. We'll see, 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever, and you'll get to actually see the construction. Wow. So we'll put that out. But anyway, they've turned over the new part to the jail to us. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you, 3 weeks ago or something. And while that added 65 beds, we don't have the use of all 65 beds yet. Because we're having to do some pretty major remodel in several of the cells in the old part. And so we're moving inmates out into the new part while we're working in the old. And so we're hoping that maybe towards the end of February, that project will be complete. And then we will have
full control.
Full control. We've actually got a little bit on the lucky side in that during all of this shuffling of inmates and back and forth, back in the summer we hit 151 in 100-bed capacity. We were at 105 this morning. So we are actually, in a sense, fortunate that population is down a little bit. Now, I will say part of it, and I'll probably step on some toes, but a lot of the judges for the past several years don't like to lock people up over the holidays.
Waiting for me to say, why? They don't like to lock people up. I don't get it.
Aren't you going to ask me why?
Why?
Okay, thank you.
He's scared to ask why anymore.
Well, they need to, here's part of it, and I am certainly no psychologist, but in order for someone to change, they've got to want to change. And many times, and I'm saying many times, what happens, they have to hit rock bottom. Well, if you're sitting in jail over Christmas,
that's pretty much rock bottom in my opinion.
I mean, depends, but so to coddle to the inmate, to coddle to the criminal and say, well, we won't lock you up, or we're going to let you serve weekends, or we're going to, I'm sorry. I just think that's, and I've said it before, for the folks early on that have problems, if they have addiction problems, then let's figure out how to get them help. If they've got, I don't care if it's need job skills, if we can get them in training, if they're having issues with their driver's license, and again, they're trying, and I want to say they want help, we should do that, okay? And in my opinion, spend more resources doing that. But at some point, and just like I've said in the legislature, you pick a number, but on their third, fourth, fifth, whatever, you're not getting it. And so we need to stop putting the extra resources on you and protect society.
How much of a problem is addictions concerning those that are in the jail?
Probably 80% or more.
Oh goodness.
And it's drugs and drug-related crimes. So, and I hear this all the time. Well, drugs are a victimless crime. No, they're not. The assaults and domestics and violence and thefts and burglaries and all of that are, again, probably 80% of it's related back to drugs. And so, no, it is not a victimless crime. And if they legalize marijuana, you're not going to help the situation because here we are talking about drug addictions and all this, but we're going to now legalize certain drugs. And the argument, well, they'll use that instead of something else.
No, they won't. Stair step.
In my opinion, that's exactly right. Can't we talk about something happy?
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, I don't know. It's your show.
We'll just talk about the cup.
Here you go, Jacob Zappa. Smile. This is for you.
Well, it looks like you got a nice new Dodge Charger sitting right there.
No, actually, that's an issue. That is not a new one. We've got approval for purchase, but Dodge is not playing nice this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Going back to Ford or Chevrolet?
No, there is no Ford and there is no Chevy.
Really?
So they're not making there's not a Tahoe. So you've got the Ford Explorer that we couldn't even order last year. And so that's in a change of production. Now the Dodge Charger's in the middle of a change of production. So we actually ended up buying, because we couldn't get the Ford Explorer, we got with the Quorum Court, and we were actually able to buy a couple of used police package Ford Explorers from Missouri. Missouri has a program, and so does Kansas, where they retire their cars at roughly 50,000 miles.
Really?
So then they sell it as a used vehicle to other law enforcement. Their theory is up to usually 48,000 it's under warranty. So at that point, everything is covered. Once it's out of warranty, your cost goes up, and so they figure out what the cost is compared to what they can sell the vehicle for, and that's a program that Missouri and Kansas have utilized, and we've purchased from them in the past, but that's what we've ended up doing. Now it's not 50 cents on the dollar, so it's still probably a pretty high price, but it's certainly not the cost of a new one.
Sure.
Because you're buying a police package.
So it's already got the heavy transmission,
everything,
the heavy cooling, and the extra
heavy brakes and heavy alternator and so on, and the wiring package is already in place, and so
that's probably a good move.
Well, it's not the best, but under the circumstances, we don't have any choice.
Well, the automotive industry is changing. I've been a fan of Chrysler products for a long time. You used to have Imperial, Chrysler, Dodge, DeSoto, and Plymouth. Chrysler makes one car, the 300, and that's not going to be a police car. That's kind of a luxury car, and I don't know. I think Ford is down to the Mustang. They've dropped the LTD, the Crown Vic. Remember the Ford Fairlanes, the 500s, the Galaxies. All of those are gone. And what's Chevrolet making right now? Do they still have the Impala?
I think they do have the Impala. We bought our CID used Impalas way back when. Yeah. That's not been they've not held up well.
Really?
We've discovered here in the rural northern part of the state, front wheel drives don't do well. They don't hold up. Now, so again, under the circumstances, it got us by for several years, but they're falling apart. We're spinning.
Didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow. So what if you could design a police unit for you guys, what would you do? Would it
the old Caprice Classic, like was there when I started, 30 some years ago.
Were those good back then?
Oh, they were great cars. Lots of room in the back to put inmates in. Big trunk to hold all your stuff. They would run very well.
Well, I serviced some Arkansas State Police cruisers back in the day, 95, 96, and they were the Chevy Caprice. Do they have a 350 engine or bigger?
No, 350.
350, yeah.
Yeah.
And they'd run, I'd seen 200,000 miles on them.
Yeah, they'd run. We've got, we're in better shape with our fleet, but we're still not great. We've got some cars, in fact, that's a dilemma because we got approval to purchase what we call an actual transport vehicle that we were hoping to get new, and we're having to try to figure out what to do. But we've got cars that we're sending people, across the United States to bring inmates or prisoners back who are wanted, and those cars have got 180, 200,000 miles. that's not. I mean, that's just not a good thing.
That's a lot of miles. Yeah.
So we're getting there. Again, the Quorum Court has been fantastic to work with, and Judge Pendergrass has understood our issue, and so has been a big help to us when we're dealing with the Quorum Court. Money's been a problem, and so we are in better shape county-wise than we've been. We're still not out of the woods, but we are certainly in better shape, and so we're hopeful to correct some of these issues over the next couple of years.
Now you have a sheriff's auxiliary.
Yeah, we call them reserves.
Well, what like the foundation where people can issue a check for things? What do you through? Is it the auxiliary or foundation?
No, it's the Baxter County Sheriff's Foundation.
Foundation, okay.
Yeah, and they have a website up there as well as Baxter County Sheriff Foundation.
Through that, what do you need if somebody wanted to say?
Well, it depends. I mean, in a perfect world, somebody would leave us several $1 million to put there. I mean, and then you could take that interest and and continue. So we do get from time to time somebody will leave part of their estate, and our again, it doesn't have to be big numbers. The other thing that people do a lot of times, and I'll give you this example. This goes back a few years ago. I had a lady come in with her, I'm going to say stockbroker for investment person, advisor, and they sat in my office, and she said, I want to do something for your deputies. And so we got to talking, and she said, we used to live close to a nightclub. Your deputies many times have had to come out there, most of the time one by themselves, and they've arrested and people in our yard and so on and so forth. And it always scared my husband and I to death. Here's that deputy out there by themselves. My husband passed away, and I'd like to do something. What do you need to help for the safety? Well, after discussing, possibilities. Now, again, I don't know whether she's talking $10 or whatever, because it doesn't matter. I mean, we're very appreciative. We had one taser at the time that one officer on duty would decide who took the taser. So she wrote a check to the foundation, and it was a sizable check.
Good.
And the foundation then purchased the tasers and then gave them back to the sheriff's office.
Good.
So she got the tax break, and the officers all got new tasers. We had another situation, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. Bulletproof vests have a expiration date, and we can
really?
we can argue should they or shouldn't they, but that life expiration date is 5 years.
Really?
So in this particular case, we still have some deputies that have vests. We try to, as our budget will allow, we try to replace those. But I was approached by a lady and her 2 granddaughters. They had a trust fund set up, and so they every year would do something, and the granddaughters got to decide what they wanted to do. And so they approached her and said, what can we do for the sheriff's office? And so they ended up buying, I believe it was 5 vests.
Good.
And what we did, of course you have to order them, they have to be measured and ordered. We arranged that the 5 officers that were getting the vest came back, and the 2 granddaughters got to actually be there when they got and I'm telling you, that was pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's good.
So the foundation has been great because, there's so many things that they do. They offer scholarships to our employees, which you don't hear that often, but we encourage our folks to go take classes. It just makes,
yeah, good.
And so the foundation offers scholarship to the employees, to help.
That's cool.
Because they're just not making a lot of money.
So if somebody wanted to write a check, what's the exact name of the foundation?
Baxter County Sheriff's Foundation.
That's it. And mail it to the...
You can mail it, yeah, but we'll get it in the right spot. So,
yeah.
And again,
That's
there's a
cool.
website out
cool.
there, and but it's been a great thing. A lot of times, the people will use it for what's called a pass-through. So, for example, we got a new Dare trailer. Our other one was To say it was bad would be an understatement. We got a new dare trailer, and so what we did is we partnered with the prosecutor's office, David Etheridge, and we worked it out. And between the foundation and David Etheridge, we got a new dare trailer and got it outfitted. And I'm talking nice, with air conditioned, and I mean it's turned out nice. And so again, that's another thing that they were able to do.
Wow, sounds good. 7:50, final break. More with the sheriff right after this.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either a terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with 2 experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Your car is a member of the family. It takes you where you need to go, and it makes sure you are safe at all times. When a wreck or accident happens, trust the only place that will treat you and your vehicle like a person, not a number. From collision repair and windshield replacement to paintless dent repair and hail damage removal, Dent Boys can cover all your automotive repair needs and make sure you are satisfied every step of the way. Call or visit the professionals at Dent Boys today and see the Dent Boys difference. 7:53, finishing out the program with Sheriff John Montgomery. I had the pleasure of being at the bridge dedication for Mike Stephen and Calico Rock.
I was not able to make it.
Sheriff, it was right along the railroad track, right there. You know where it's at? Goes from Izard County to Stone County. And just as Senator Irvin got up to speak, the sun came out, was like our own personal spotlight. And even Channel 8 was there, and I watched the report later online, and she said, just as Senator Irvin started to speak, the sun came out, and it was beautiful, you know. And so we ran, what was that, December 24th, we ran in his honor, that show in his memory, and we had permission from the family. And so your thoughts on the memory, Mike? Did you know Mike?
I did.
He was a lot of fun. We had so much fun.
Yeah. Good guy. It's very, very sad, and it's just it bothers me. Times have changed, and it bothers me the number of officers that are getting killed every year, because again, it goes back. I'll say, the respect for authority. That's not there. I mean, back in the day, there's certain things you just didn't do. I mean, and that's changed. And on that quick segue, I just happened to saw a news clip Did you see they call him Egg Boy in Australia?
No.
And this goes back again to
Egg
respect.
Boy?
Yeah. So here's a politician I don't know from Australia, and here's this young man who's got his phone. He's filming, and he's got an egg, and he runs up behind and smashes the egg on top of his head, and thinks it's funny. Now, as bad as that is, you've got actors and actresses that have been saying, "Hey, we need more egg boys out here like that." I mean. Again, it's that lack of respect.
Why do they see policemen as the bad guy?
Well,
there's a 3-letter word "why" again. You don't make the laws. You enforce the law.
Well, there's certainly, and like any profession, there are bad apples. I don't care what profession you have. There are certain bad apples, and so law enforcement is no different. I think the frustration, and it goes back again to the coverage, people don't really like to talk about at the coffee shop. We don't want to talk about the good stuff. We want to talk about the dirt, the gossip, the whatever. Same thing on the news. It's like here, I get frustrated at the local newspaper, which of course is not local anymore. Yeah. It's because what's on the front page? It's bad stuff all the time. But that's what sells. And so...
Dirty laundry.
Dirty laundry. And so it just...
There's a lot of good stuff that we don't hear about.
Well, it goes back to the officer. Certainly, again, there's bad apples, but you can do them. It's like the sheriff's office. And again, we've had issues, and we've had people. We're dealing with human beings. We can do a million things right, and do one wrong,
and it makes the front page.
And that's what everybody talks about.
That's also why I love that what you guys do and working with the schools and having the cops. The cops in school are not just there protecting the school. I mean, that is one of their main jobs. But yet they get to know these kids inside and out. Yeah. And there's things that these kids go and tell them that they wouldn't tell their counselor or their teacher or their best friend.
Exactly.
And to me, building that relationship at a young age is great to see. It really is.
DARE program, real quick. I think that's one of the finest programs, and
Yeah,
full support there.
Lieutenant Bird started that here 20 plus years.
Yeah.
I don't know, 22, 3, whatever it is, years ago. We've got officers in all 3 schools, and they do a great job. And it's not an easy. That's not easy. And it takes a calling. And as much as I love kids, I don't know that I could do that. So it does take a calling and a special person to be able to do that. And we are so blessed. We've got 3 great DARE officers right now, one in each school. And, of course, the City of Mountain Home's got school resource officers in all the different schools and so on and so forth. So,
yeah, great programs. What else? How can we help you as the sheriff and the sheriff's department, we the citizens?
Well, there's a couple things. Number one, I will tell you, pat on the back means a lot. When you see an officer, just go up and say thank you.
Or pick up the meal ticket.
The other thing, since you got the website up there, if you hit go back to up at the top right there, it says submit a crime tip.
Okay. Yeah.
You can do this. You can do it by phone. You can do it by email. But right here, if you'll just type in when you see a crime, or you've got information, or you even think that you've heard people talk about break-ins or burglaries or drugs or whatever, submit that. You can remain anonymous. And it goes straight to our detectives, and we get so many tips every year, and there's crime. We solve several crimes every year because of that. That's a big thing that you can do right there.
Good.
And you got a free mobile app. I will do some. I'll do some checking to see what the numbers are. But I know we're going to top 2.5 million visits to our website again this year.
Wow. Scary, you got anything? Well, we got 1 more minute.
Yeah. Yep. No, I'm good. I just let
John,
it rip.
We appreciate your work. It's a tough job. All your staff, you got a big county, big flat to the Missouri state line.
We're very blessed. I mean, we are. The citizens here do support us greatly, and we're very, very fortunate. I had one of my deputies, somebody attacked, I say attacked, I mean, made some bad comment about him on Facebook, and he later texted me and he goes, I'm trying, I don't want to respond. I mean, you want to, but he said, I didn't have to. He said there were probably close to 100 people that come in and basically lambasted,
Good.
the comments. And again, we do screw up. When we do, we're human, and we admit it, and we go on.
Pick up the pieces and go on.
Right.
Sheriff, we appreciate your work. Happy New Year. Wish you the best for 2020. Smile!
Deputy Zappa.
We got to run. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Sheriff.